Trying to sell it back now.
Save $1 on fresh country-style pork ribs, just $3.79 per pound.
Whole red ripe seedless watermelons, $12.99 each. Select varieties of Friendly's dessert ice cream cups, only $3.49 for an 8.5-ounce tub. 10-ounce package of Stone Skillet English muffins, only $5.99 for select varieties. 12-pack refreshing LaCroix sparkling water, only $8.99 for select varieties. Visit our website at www.marketplace.pm for more super specials.
You can count on us.
Good evening, everyone. You're watching Bermuda Tonight. It's Thursday, July the 11th. I'm Jasmine Patterson, and thanks for joining us. A St. George's jeweler hit a third time within 2 months by suspected burglars. Police say 2 men gained entry to the Vera Picard store on Water Street in St. George and stole a quantity of jewelry just before 4 a.m. today and made good their escape. 2 similar incidents happened twice in May this year. An investigation has begun, and witnesses, in particular any passing motorists or members of the public walking in the area that saw suspicious individuals or vehicles early this morning between 3 and 4 a.m., are encouraged to call Detective Constable Seymour Foote on 717-2282 or Detective Constable Mark McCormick on 717-2207. Elsewhere tonight, remarks from the Pembroke East Central MP Michael Weeks in defense of opposition to a planned gay pride parade have been described by the OBA as extremely careless. OBA Senator Dwayne Robinson today issuing a statement on Mr. Weeks' remarks last week, underscoring that it is wrong to suggest that the LGBTQ community requires the acceptance of the heterosexual community. Tarai Trott spoke to Senator Robinson today.
And I understand that his intent was well-meaning, but it's no way that his entire constituency falls into the heterosexual community. And to me, it is a blatant siding with the majority when it is government's responsibility to protect minority rights as well.
You go on to say in your statement that equal access to marriage equality and the ability to express yourself openly is needed. What did you mean by that?
The majority of MP Weeks' motion to adjourn spoke to an acceptance or the need to put to bed this same-sex marriage issue. And my statements regarding that were that they do not require the acceptance of the heterosexual community. They only require equal access to marriage equality and the ability to be themselves in the home in which they reside.
You homed in on Mr. Weeks' comment that the same-sex marriage issue should be resolved before any pride parade, and you've said that that statement misses the point.
Yes, it does, because it alludes to a possibility of it being repealed, when, as far as we know, the court has ruled, and though the government is in a current state of appeal, it will lose, because it has already lost multiple times. So to say that it needs to be put to bed or put to rest before a pride parade is, to me, putting the onus on us, when really it seems as though they have to get it put to rest for them. You know what I mean? Because it's already been put to bed in the court.
Tarai Trott speaking there with Senator Dwayne Robinson. Today, Minister of Tourism and Transport Zane De Silva held a press conference at the Hamilton Princess Anne Beach Club outlining the positive impacts of the arrival of superyachts on the island's economy and the hope to attract more to our shores. We were given the opportunity to interview him further as to what this new initiative will do for Bermuda on the whole.
These yachts spend anywhere up to like 127, 130,000 per week when they're here. And when I say, how does that benefit Bermuda? They come to Bermuda, they obviously have to buy gas, they buy groceries, they jump in taxis, they visit all our tourist destinations, they eat in restaurants, they buy groceries.
When questioned further on what business opportunities would be created for Bermudians as a result of this, Minister De Silva had this to say.
I'm hoping that we have some of our entrepreneurs that are out there listening, because they like concierge service. Look, it's no secret. Billionaires spend money. and they don't mind paying for their service. So I encourage any of our Bermudians out there that have any ideas, they need to start going to work because the opportunity is there for them.
This will hopefully bring some optimism for business owners and their outlook on the economy, which saw retail sales fluctuating earlier this year. We'll have more for you after this short break, including all the latest weather news. Stay with us.
Every home tells a story. Your story is all yours.
Big kid, too cool. I make my own rules.
Wherever you live, whatever your style, express yourself.
My style says what's up. Don't wanna ever grow up.
So many styles to help tell your story and create your unique dream home.
We're gonna stand out, break away from the crowd.
Start shopping for furniture at U.S. prices today. Lifestyle Furniture is Bermuda's newest furniture store and is proud to be the home of the #1 furniture company in the world, Ashley Furniture. Visit lifestylefurniture.bm or stop by our showrooms today. Lifestyle Furniture, this is home.
Thanks for staying with us. Unionized workers at Gorm's Limited walked off the job today, bringing operations to a standstill over reported cutbacks to health care benefits. Here's more in this report. Around noon today, Gorm's Limited staff members at the hardware store on St. John's Road took industrial action in protest of changes to health care benefits. Under the sweltering heat, staff members stood their ground in front of the entrance gate, singing "We Shall Overcome." Police officers were seen keeping a lookout on the peaceful demonstration. Union officials spoke with us briefly on the workers' grievances.
It's a lack of honoring the collective agreement. Okay, the collective agreement has in there a article which talks about joint consultation. Now, joint consultation basically is management and unions sitting down together discussing the way forward. In this particular incident, the way forward for them has been somewhat dictatorial, and it's concerning health insurance. I really don't want to get into too much at this present point in time, but it's concerning health insurance, and you know that health insurance is paid by the employer and the employee. And I'll leave it at that.
We were unable to reach Gorm's managers today. However, according to the union organizers, all parties met this afternoon.
Yeah, we did have a meeting with the management, and we'll resume another meeting next week after the management gets some information from the insurance provider, and we'll sit down and talk about it. But they're back to work now. They went back to work just after 3 o'clock. We told them what we had negotiated with the management, and they're all happy at this time.
Can you anticipate any further action between now and the next meeting?
No. They have to consult the insurance provider, and with the updated information that they get from the insurance provider, they'll come back and sit down and talk to us.
It was just 2 weeks ago that workers at SAL Limited also walked off the job to express their grievances against their employer. That situation, too, was settled within 1 day. Operations are expected to continue as normal at Gorm's Limited until negotiations resume in a meeting on Thursday, July 18th. Elsewhere tonight, the man who won Bermuda its only Olympic medal, renewing his pleas for the government to properly honor him. Retired boxer Clarence Hill, who won the island international fame in the 1970s, which is yet to be matched, says he wants the government to keep its promises. Mr. Hill feels that despite the passage of time, it is not too late for the island to give him the recognition he feels should have been given to him a long time ago. Tarai Trott has our story.
I declare open the Olympic Games of 1976.
He achieved the bronze medal in the 1976 Olympic Games in Montreal, putting the obscure island of Bermuda on the map for the first time, only to come home and not receive the recognition some felt he deserved. And now, 43 years on, Clarence Hill is still waiting for that recognition, something he feels is owed to him.
And looking back at other countries, and when you find citizens of their countries winning a medal for the country in the Olympics, what the government do for them, or even have done for them.
Mr. Hill, now 68 years old, points out some countries have honored their Olympians with land, a house, and even cash.
Here lately, Bahamas won a medal. First time they ever won a medal for the Bahamas, which was bronze. He got land, he got a house, he got a bank account.
Asked what he thought he deserved for his achievement.
I can't put no answer to that. I mean, just look at other countries and what they've done for their countries.
He admits the lack of recognition from Bermuda has taken its toll.
Makes you feel like your country don't appreciate what you've done for them, because people have to understand what an athlete has to do, or has done, or will do, to get prepared for the Olympic Games, the things you have to do.
Mr. Hill says promises were made to him by Bermuda after the 1976 medal win, promises he claims were never honored.
They told me, come back home to Bermuda, we have something special for you. That's the only reason why I came back to Bermuda. Because 1976, after winning the medal, I could have stayed in Canada and turned pro.
Mr. Hill believes the government continues to hold him back due to his prior battle with drug addiction, something he previously told our Mike Sharp took hold upon his return after the 1976 Games.
The reason why I got involved with drugs is because when I came home, I had nowhere to stay, depression, and I moved in, renting a room from a gentleman back in town, and he introduced me to crack cocaine.
For now, Mr. Hill continues to wait for the justice to which he believes he is rightfully entitled. Tarai Trott reporting for Bermuda Broadcasting News.
Mr. Hill is particularly upset that a proposal by the government to establish a gym in his name has yet to materialize. Contacted about this story, a government spokesperson said they did not have an answer for us at this time. Now, we saw temperatures soar in the upper 80s today with plenty of clear skies as a high-pressure system continues to bring sunny conditions. Let's go to the AccuWeather headquarters for the latest.
AccuWeather is presented by BF&M Insurance Group. We now go to AccuWeather headquarters.
This AccuWeather forecast on ZBM is brought to us by the folks at the BF&M Insurance Group. We have some nice weather out there for Bermuda. And we're also watching Tropical Storm Barry on the map. Now, this is not going to directly play a role in our forecast, but tropical weather and hurricanes, tropical storms are always an item of interest, especially in the Western Atlantic this time of the year. So this is a strengthening tropical storm that will probably become a hurricane and make landfall early this weekend along the south side of Louisiana. The center of circulation is actually on the north side of this giant flare-up, and you can see most of the convection is west and south of the center of the storm. So it's still kind of an immature storm, if you will, but it is a true tropical storm now, and Barry is indeed on the map. Most of the sprinkles and showers are off to the south. We will have a slight chance for a few spotty showers Friday night into Saturday morning, but they're not going to be too widespread. Temperatures range from around 80 to 81 right now. Water temperatures around 84. Wind is light from the northeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Humidity is down substantially from where it was yesterday at this time, and the waves have really relaxed. So that's been a nice improvement for the boaters. Only around a foot on the inside and 2 to 3 feet around the outside periphery of the island. Because the winds are light and the waves are much smaller, no weather alerts are in effect. We often post those small craft warnings and so forth up into that part of the banner there, but none of those are in effect at this point. High tide was just recently. Low tide's coming up at 11:45 tonight. High tide early tomorrow morning and another low tide into the middle of the day. Tonight we'll go clear to partly cloudy. Kind of a warm night though, with temperatures only falling to 75. A great day tomorrow, 83, dry during the day. Then isolated showers will begin to sneak in tomorrow evening, right around the time Futurecast is going to end, around 11 p.m. or so. You can see maybe a few sprinkles beginning to present themselves, though Futurecast is pretty shy regarding those rain chances. So we are watching Tropical Storm Barry in the Gulf of Mexico, soon to impact Louisiana more substantially, especially Friday night and into Saturday and Sunday. Heavy rain for the southeastern part of the United States. But in Jamaica and Barbados, we look good. Trinidad, a little cooler. Spotty thunderstorms there in the Windward Islands. to the Gateway forecast. Toronto looks nice behind a recent front, 78 with less humid air. New York City turning quieter, warm but less humid. Boston will see some lingering rain and possible thunderstorms into the first half of the day on Friday. Atlanta, scattered showers and storms. Miami, a nice warm day there, not terribly hot, but it's pretty steamy. And in London, we have some showers at around 76 degrees. So again, a small chance for a few isolated showers enters the forecast Friday evening into Saturday morning. It is too inconsequential for us to have appear here on the map, though, or on the 5-day forecast. Most of Friday is dry. Most of Saturday is also dry. Sunday looks good. Then there's an increasing chance for showers Monday and into Tuesday, and also Wednesday of next week.
AccuWeather was presented by BF&M Insurance Group.
From record highs to the end of an era, Tony Waterman has a mashup of the day's biggest business stories.
It was another record day on Wall Street as U.S. Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell all but cemented an interest rate cut later this month. At a 2-day congressional hearing, the Fed chief pointed to increasing uncertainties in the U.S. economy around trade, growth, and inflation, assuaging fears that a strong jobs report last week would put off rate cuts. All three major indices hit all-time highs this week. Apple has been forced to disable the walkie-talkie app on its smartwatch because of a flaw which could allow someone to eavesdrop on conversations. The app, which was added to the watch last year, allows people to send and receive short audio messages via a tweaked form of FaceTime audio. Apple said it wasn't aware of anyone exploiting the bug. This is the second eavesdropping bug Apple has had to fix this year. In January, an iPhone bug was discovered which allowed people to eavesdrop on FaceTime calls. And it is the end of an era for German car maker Volkswagen. The very last Beetle rolled off a Mexican assembly line yesterday, serenaded by a mariachi band and surrounded by chanting factory workers. The model, known as the Bug, was commissioned by Adolf Hitler to promote car ownership and debuted in 1938. Its affordable price tag and funky design made it one of the top-selling models of all time. But its size was its ultimate downfall as consumer tastes swerved towards SUVs. The last of the Bugs will be sold on Amazon. And that's your business mashup. I'm Tony Waterman.
Thanks, Tony. Bermuda's landscapes are perhaps most vibrant in early summer. The ponciana trees of fiery orange, white-angled trumpet vines stretching, and pansies bursting the shades of purple. One local artist has captured the splendor in a series of watercolor paintings called A Summer Sketchbook. Here's a glimpse of Rona Emerson's work, which is on show until the end of August at Ann Partners on Parleville Road.
I can show you which two they are, and then I can show you where the rest are.
And we'll be right back. Earl Baisden will have all the latest sports news in just a few minutes.
Price Rite is your one-stop shop with something for everyone. Household goods for kitchen, bedroom, and bathroom. Aisles of bulk groceries at value prices. A complete selection of fresh meat and produce, and an extensive range of frozen items to cover every meal. Wines from around the world and beer and liquor at discount prices. Visit Price Rite at our 2 locations in Pembroke and Warren. There's always something new and always something for everyone.
Are you required to take one or more medications daily but have a hard time remembering when to take them? The Phoenix Stores can help with an MDS blister pack, a multi-dose packaging system that makes it easier to manage and take your medication. Each MDS blister pack contains medication for the week and is pre-packed, sealed, and labeled by a pharmacist. Prescriptions grouped by the day and the time of day you should take them. Take confidence in knowing you're using your medications as the doctor planned. Visit the Phoenix Stores to get your MDS blister pack today. The Phoenix Stores, for a better life.
Now here's your nightly sports report.
It was another good day for Bermuda sailors, who are among a total of 257 young sailors from 65 participating nations competing in the 2019 Optimus World Championships going on in Antigua. Sebastian Kemp continues to lead the Bermuda fleet as he moved up 5 places to come off the water in 4th place with 17 net points. This after finishing 4th in the first race of the Yellow Fleet, and then he crossed the line 2nd in the second race of the day. Christian Eben is holding down the 17th spot after starting the day in 18th place with 40 net points. Magnus Reinstedt started the day in 86th and came off the water in 67th place with 91 net points. Laura Hopman is 111th with 115 net points, and Nicole Stovall is 202nd with 216 net points. Meanwhile, the Wednesday night sailing series that starts and ends in the Hamilton Harbor continued with 26 boats going to the start line for race day 12. Nasty Madison was the first boat to cross the line on the night, clocking a time of 49.48 with their corrected time of 54.20, saw them finish 4th on the night. Air Force was the second boat to cross the line, clocking 54.51, and with their corrected time of 51.25, saw them finish 1st on the night. Fat Tuesdays clocked a time of 58.07, and with the corrected time of 53.44, saw them finish 2nd. Smokin' finished 3rd on the night with a corrected time of 54.03, and Mayhem rounded out the top 5 finishes on the night with a corrected time of 55.18. Daniel Phillips had a mixed day competing on the European Junior Tennis Tour as he took to the courts yet again for the VLTC Euro Under-14 tournament in Malta. In the singles play, Phillips took on Gabriele Voltipta from Italy, going down in 3 sets. Voltipta won the first set 7-5, but Phillips drew the match level when he won the second set 6-1. Voltipta would win the third and final set 6-4. Phillips then teamed up with Dial from Belgium, and they defeated their opponents from Italy in a 3-set battle. Phillips and Dial won the first set 6-2 before they went down 6-1 in the second set, and then they would win the third set tiebreaker 10-8. Nicholas Narroway finished 120th during the second stage of the Junior Cycling Tour of Ireland, 23 minutes and 14 seconds behind the winner, clocking a time of 2 hours, 45 minutes and 46 seconds. Narroway has an overall time of 3 hours, 44 minutes and 47 seconds, some 23 minutes and 20 seconds behind the overall leader. Narroway's team, USA East ID Talent, are now 22nd out of 28 teams overall with a time of 7 hours, 19 minutes and 19 seconds. Bermuda's medal count went up by 1 as the NatRest International Island Games continued in Gibraltar. The mixed squash team of Rachel Barnes and Anthony Fellows captured the bronze medal. During the mixed doubles matchup, Barnes and Fellows defeated Stuart Copeland and Joan Smith from Shetland Islands 15-13, 9-15, 15-14. Meanwhile, in tennis, Gavin Manders advanced to the men's singles semifinals after he defeated his opponent from Menorca in straight sets 6-3, 6-3. Sam Butler fell in straight sets 6-love, 6-1 to his opponent from Menorca. In men's doubles quarterfinals action, Manders and David Thomas defeated their opponents from Menorca 6-love, 6-4. James Finnegan and Scott Redmond went down to their opponents from Jersey 6-2, 6-1. In sailing action over in Gibraltar in the team event, Bermuda are currently in 3rd place with 169 points. After 7 races in the Laser Radial Rig fleet, Adriana Penderoque is 5th with 31 net points, having finished in the top 10 in 6 of the 7 races sailed. Jordan Atamati is 15th with 78 net points. In the laser standard rig fleet, Kaylin Hillier is in 5th place with 30 net points, with 5 top 10 finishes of the 7 races sailed. Scott Mello is in 12th with 72 net points. Quincy Cusack finished 10th in Heat 2 of the men's 1500-meter race, crossing the line in a time of 4:29.78. Brianna Mendez finished 4th competing in the women's 5,000-meter race when she was clocked in 18:54.66. With a time of 16:11.34, saw Sean Trott finish 8th in the men's 5,000-meter race. Jemin Hodgkins will be busy over the next few weeks as he is part of the Canada Under-18 men's 7s rugby team, and he's also been selected to represent Bermuda in the Rugby Americas North tournament. Canada's head coach announced the squad for the upcoming Can-Am 7s tournament, which will take place in Ontario July 11th through the 13th, and he has also been named to the team that will compete at the Rans tournament in Barbados for Bermuda July 18th through the 21st. A total of 200 points were scored as the Bermuda Basketball League's second half of the playoff quarterfinals round continued inside the Bermuda College Gymnasium last evening. Game 1 saw the Pembroke Skyforce defeat the Warwick Rimrockers 60-37. Gershon Kirk had a double-double to lead the Pembroke Skyforce to victory. He would score 17 points and grab 17 rebounds to go along with 2 steals and 1 block shot. Ronald Bushner would lead the Warwick Rimrockers with 14 points, 8 rebounds, 2 assists, and 2 steals. Devonshire Chargers won Game 2 by 15 points, defeating the Smith Court Kings 59-44. I'm Earl Baisden with Bermuda Broadcasting Sports.
Save $2 on tree-ripe juicy peaches and nectarines, $2.99 per pound. Family pack fresh ground hamburger, only $2.99 per pound. Save $1.10 on ShopRite Sharp shredded cheese, $2.99 for an 8-ounce package. Package of 4s, double rolls, Charmin Ultra Soft or strong toilet tissue, $4.99. Match like charcoal briquettes, $8.99 for a 3.1 pound bag. All stores open Monday through Saturday until 10 p.m. and Sunday 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. for your shopping convenience.
And finally, 50 years ago this month, the future became a reality. In July 1969, a mission control center at NASA was the first to put men on the moon. Mark Strassman from our affiliates at CBS reports from that very room.
The Eagle has landed.
Neil Armstrong walked in the sky because of legendary flight director Gene Kranz and his NASA team.
There it is, a U.S. flag on the surface of the moon.
In the Apollo era, this mission control in Houston was one of the most famous rooms on Earth. But when we met Kranz in August of 2017, it was in ruins.
Take a look at the consoles. I used to have an abort switch in there. Where the heck's the abort switch? The displays don't work anymore.
Now 85, his mission became renewing this room.
This is a place where we battled to achieve the high ground of space.
And the condition of this place, it was as though somebody had spit on sacred ground.
You saw the carpeting was held together with yellow duct tape. I'd walk into the console as pieces were missing. Visitors had come in and they'd punched out the intercom buttons in there and they kept them home as souvenirs.
The project was part restoration, part scavenger hunt. Workers custom-made new carpeting and paint to match the period and scoured for artifacts that matched historical photographs.
We found cigarettes in the console, so we've saved those and they're in ashtrays around. My contractor went out and she literally was on eBay and thrift stores and antique shops trying to find every single one of these pieces, the cups, the headsets, the pencils and everything.
Welcome to July 1969.
You got your abort switch back?
Oh, yeah, I got the abort switch.
Krantz helped raise $5 million to pay for it.
All of a sudden it had energy. It possessed, the capabilities that we said, I want to go down there and punch some buttons.
3, 2, 1, liftoff. Hey!
The redone room now open, visitors can tour the stage of so much space history, the place where, for Krantz, failure was never an option.
This was the start of not only space revolution, but the technology revolution within our nation. And I think as people come in here, they have to recognize this is where it all began.
And I'm Jasmine Patterson. Thank you for joining us this Thursday evening. We hope to see you again at the same time tomorrow. Good night.
Jasmine Patterson's wardrobe and makeup is provided by Gibbons Company.
On the CBS Evening News this Thursday, New Orleans could face its worst flooding since Katrina as Barry heads for the Gulf Coast.